Hello everybody, I hope you guys are doing good. I'm going to start right at 8 o'clock tonight, just because this card here is watercoloring and it will take a little bit of time. But let's see who's on. Joni, you're almost always the first one on. Let us know where you guys are watching from. There's Linda. Hopefully it's not as hot where you are, Linda, this Friday. You guys, I don't have long sleeves on today, so it's in the 70s and it's going to be a perfect weekend, so I'm really excited about that. All right, so last week I said I was going to give away those cards, right? Well, I never did that, and it just dawned on me the other day because they were sitting up on my shelf. So we had four people. We had four people enter into the drawing, so I have four cards that I made like ahead of time, and then two with you guys. So I've got four cards, and every one of you guys will be receiving one of these in the mail. So that would be Debbie Franklin, Pamela Colban, Carol Martin, and Carla. I hope it's Acel. Acel, I'm not really sure how to pronounce that, but you all four will be getting one of these in the mail. I'm not sure which one it is. I'll just make sure that gets in the mail tomorrow. All right, so that is that. Let's see what else I want to go over. My host code for July. A few people have already taken advantage of that, and let's see, it is the bumblebee trinkets. So the bumblebee trinkets are these cute little bumblebees. They're gold and they are flat on the back side, so you can use a glue dot to adhere those to anything. So that is what I'm giving away for the month of July. So if you do forget to add the host code on your order, just let me know. And I'm able to change that with Stampin' Up. So I try to keep an eye on any orders that are coming through that do forget the host code here. So the host code for July until the 31st is J3XNTK Y and V. So that code is used for any order on my website, inspiredbygraham.com, of $40 to $149.99. So if your order is $150 or above, then don't use that code because I want you to receive the Stampin' rewards. You've earned that with that type of order. So, and you'll still get the bumblebee trinkets from me in August. So don't worry about that because you'll get your Stampin' rewards, you'll get the bumblebee, and you'll get a cute card from me too. And even if your order is $40 to $149.99, you're still going to get that cute little card from me. So that is my host code reminder. Let me just put that over here. We're going to be working with a couple different stamp sets tonight, old and, I was going to say old, but in the annual catalog that's carryover. And I'm hiding this card because honestly, this is horrible. So we're going to cover that one up. But one last reminder, will not last, but it closes on the 30th of July, is my July card club. So it's featuring the beautiful Pansy Petals Designer Series paper and a bunch of different things. So I'm going to go quickly through the cards here, all the designs. All these die cuts here will be die cut by me. And all the panels too. You cut the designer series paper. A lot of you on tonight, really, you already know this, but anybody new that is on here, that's how I run my card club. So you'll get 5 yards of this metallic mesh ribbon. Now this was a carryover and it's kind of been used for Halloween because of the mesh, but it really makes nice card embellishments. As you can see here, hopefully, I did a little cute bow here and wrapped it around, and on the inside it kind of just dangles right here. It's really sparkly. So I like that. And then, so that's card number 1. Card number 2 is really my Bam Wow card. So this is just gorgeous using the Blackberry Bliss cardstock. It's one of my favorite colors. And then here's the Evening Evergreen leaves that are kind of etched, and I do that die cutting for you. This little die, or the pansy here, is from the Pansy Petals Designer Series paper. If you have the dies, you can die cut that out. If you don't have the dies, then you can fussy cut that out too. Or you can choose to add on the bundle, and that's easy to do as well. So this is the inside of the card. This is one of all of these cards are my favorite, really. I love them. They are so really nice. And then here's this one. This one uses the fresh freesia and some Calypso coral, some pale papaya, and bumblebee. So all in colors with a little highlight of white, the basic white. And then on the inside, very simple with a strip of that Designer Series paper. And then here's this one is really fun. It uses the meadow dies. So I did 2 with meadow dies and 2 with pansy petals, just to give you a variety, because I like to mix and match all different dies and just items in our catalog, so we're not always stuck on the bundle, because honestly, I don't always buy like a suite. I just buy things that I like to use. A lot of times I just like the sentiment. So that is that. And here's this one here. You can kind of see how this is like really flowing too. So anyway, that's my card club. If you don't know anything about my card club, I can send you the link and just have to email me for the link. It's inspiredbygraham@gmail.com. So it's $38 a month. It's recurring, and you can cancel at any time. But if you have 6 consecutive months, you get $25 worth of Stampin' Up! Products from me. And then you start all over again, earning another $25. So also in Card Club, you'll receive 1 sheet of the regular dimensionals and 1 sheet of the minis, and then of course 5 yards of this metallic mesh ribbon. And then I'm also using the silver and clear epoxy essentials this month. You'll get a whole pack of these, and I'm sure this is glaring, but they come silver and clear. And on the clear ones, you can use your Stampin' blends to color them in. So there's teardrops, circles, and diamond patterns in these. If you don't have blends, well, then you can use Sharpie markers too. So I'm pretty sure everybody has Sharpie markers in their craft room. Hopefully you have Stampin' blends. If you don't, you can always order those from me as well. And then here's the Pansy Patch stamp set, which is could be an add-on. So that is Card Club. Card Club features Calypso, let's see, ink colors, Calypso Coral, Blackberry Bliss, Evening Evergreen, and Fresh Freesia. I've been using these colors a lot lately. You guys know that. So anyway, I am going to, let's see, clear out this, and we're going to get started watercoloring. So let me just clear up my area here. And so with this one, I wanted to bring in something that you guys may already have in your craft room, okay? I know, like, I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, like some of you guys on here are as well. So I don't always buy everything. There's no way I could buy everything in a catalog, quite honestly. I probably have about maybe 25 stamp set. That's all I have. And I try to use them to the maximum. So this was a carryover. It's called Daisy Lane, and it used to be a bundle, but now it's sold separately. But it also uses the contour dies. And this one, I just cut out the watercolor paper here, but on the one I'm going to be creating with you today, I used the stitch rectangle. I tried to get to the exact size of the contours, but it just wasn't working. So I kind of got a little bit closer with the stitch rectangle dies. And did you see this? I used the trio punch. So this design here, I've never actually punched it. And I just that it would look really nice on this card design. So that's what I did. On the inside, I used the contour dies again. and I added another daisy on the inside so you can write your message here. So that's this card we're going to work on. In the middle here is the crystal effects, shimmery crystal effects. I tried to put some of these different embellishments on the center. I didn't really like how they were looking on this card, and then I remembered I had to clear the crystal effects, and I think that you can probably see that. It's on page, let me just show you. You might overlook it in the catalog because it's way in the back. It is on page right here. So it's on page 128 of the catalog, and it is excuse me, right here, number 8. It's right over here. So it says, add subtle sparkle to your project with white and silver glitter flecks in this glossy lacquer. Small, thin tip makes it easy to outline or add detail. So it's $8 or $5, so it's not that bad. And if you're a demonstrator, you save 20 to 25% as well. So that's what we're going to make. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna tickle my throat. So hold on, I gotta get a drink of water. Whew. But anyway, let's see if I can last. All right, so the ink colors for tonight are the ink colors, you guys. Pale papaya, polished pink. If I didn't have any ink colors, I would concentrate on the ink colors for 2021, 2023. You guys know I've been using these like for a few weeks now. I think they work great. All right, so here is all of our items here that we need. Okay. So I've got a bunch of stuff. I've got strips here in case I make a mistake. This is just basic white, a 1/2 inch tall, and then it's just like, I don't know, if maybe 3 inches. I'm going to cut it down anyway. We need a scrap of pale papaya and a scrap of the polished pink for our daisies, plus some basic white, all for our daisies. And then we've got 2 contour dies. They're really, the biggest one in the die collection. So one on the inside, and then one's going to go on the outside like that. We'll set those aside because we won't need those for a bit. And then I've got some watercolor paper here. It's not white. It's kind of a shade off of that, but don't worry about that because we're going to color it all up anyway. You won't even know. But I did cut it out with a stitch rectangle, the second largest one, to fit on the contour die. So it fits pretty close. Actually, almost exact, but a little bit off, like maybe a 1/16 of an inch. So I think it's close enough. We're going to focus on this piece because it's got to dry, and I want my silicone craft sheet here just because I don't have a paper towel, but I have some tissue. All right, I finally got the new watercolor, I don't even know the name of these actually, that's embarrassing, but they're the new watercolor brushes. They come in three to a pack, and I think they're $12. So you got this wide brush, and then you got this long brush here, and then a smaller one. We're gonna focus on using this one here. Now, does anybody have these? Because I have a question. I don't know if this piece here is supposed to stay on or not. I think it's supposed to stay on because you would have more control, but does anybody have these? And I'm gonna see if there's a comment. Because I need to know, I'm pretty sure this cap stays on, but I'm not entirely sure, and I didn't have time to call Stampin' up today. But that cap kind of here, and it kind of pinches it right here, so I'm pretty sure it has to stay on. So we're gonna go with that. Now, I'm gonna start with the polished pink. So I've got a little bit of ink in here from last night. I'm gonna actually squish this. You can use your refill too to put a drop in. Well, that didn't do a very good job. I'm gonna squish it some more. There we go. All right, so let me just see if you guys, I gotta move over a little bit because I think I'm out of the picture here. So I'm moving to the left. All right, so I've got my palette here. What's really nice here is that it has the word push. So that's where you're gonna grip and that's where you're gonna push so the water comes out here and into the brush tip. Okay, so now I'm just going to mix up that ink. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of just, I'm not like this really great watercolor. I'm just gonna basically, actually I want the yellow, the pale papaya more at the top. Basically, I'm just gonna make a wash. And I'm just gonna go back and forth, just like this. I need to pick up some more darker colors. I just wanna get a variety of color just by adding like ink to the brush. The water's not coming out, there we go. It does require quite a bit of ink to get this really dark color. So I'm just gonna do a wash to the edges. I wanna cover up that watercolor paper and not have a lot of that whitish come through. I also want to make sure I have some really dark areas too. All right, so let me just get a little bit of light over there. You're also going to want to make sure when you're moving from one color to the next. I got this old sock here. You want to color that. You want to get as much ink out of that tip as you possibly can. Okay, I actually have a container of water here, not what I'm drinking, but you can also put it in some water and then kind of clean it that way too. I think I've got most of it out, so we'll go with that. So now let's open up the pale papaya. You can see that there's none really there, so I'm just gonna squish it. And there we go. So now I'm gonna make the pale papaya. Not one of these is going to be the same. And I probably put way too much polished pink on here. But I'm going to try to kind of just blend it and get as much of that pale papaya in there as possible. And you just need some more ink. If I'm really quiet, you guys will probably hear a cardinal that is outside right now. I can hear it. Did you hear that? There it goes again. It comes every night at this time. Okay, I think that's gonna be, let me see, it's going to, when it dries, it's gonna be like a lot lighter. So I do wanna just give a little bit more of this pale papaya. And I'm gonna grab a little bit more of that polished pink. Not one of these is going to be the same, but you do wanna have some dark areas like, let me show you. So see here where it's darker, much darker here and lighter here, and then you got a lot of the pale papaya up here. You do want to have some contrast. So that's what I'm trying to get right now. I think that's good enough. It's going to be good enough. So I'm going to set, let's see, I'm going to set this aside to dry on its own, and then I'm going to use the heat tool to dry it. Now we're going to stamp. So I'm using the Daisy Lane stamp. This is a cling stamp set and a carryover. There's a punch that will punch out the large daisy and a punch that I'm going to use tonight called the medium daisy that will punch out this one. The sentiment I'm going to use is "It's your time to shine." So what we need is we need some daisies, and we're going to stamp tone on tone. So I have the little daisy on a C block. And when you stamp the daisy, you want to have the top and bottom petals straight. So portrait. And we need, let's see, 1, 2, 3 of these. 1, 2, and I'm just using a piece of scrap. Hopefully I can fit this one on. 3, okay. Now you're gonna need three of these on the white. 1, 2, 3. Now I've got to clean my stamp with my Stampin' scrub. Do you guys have these? I've had these like probably forever, since I've been a demonstrator. Use it all the time. Clean stamps really nicely. Just, this is the wet side on the left, and then this is the dry side on the right side. You can tell by a raindrop and the sun up in the corner. Okay, so now I'm going to use Pale Papaya. Again, I'm stamping so that the points are at the top. There, one. I might not have enough paper here, so let me just strategize. It's gonna be close. I can go get a scrap if I need to. So then 1. This one we only need 2. Actually, I think we only need 1, but I'll do 2 just because. All right, so we're almost done stamping. We're going to take this little 1/2-inch strip, and I've got my sentiment. It's your time to shine. I'm going to stamp that just kind of in the center, right in the middle there. That's pretty straight. I'm going to close these up because don't want to destroy anything here. Okay, so now we're going to punch. We're going to have a punch party. We have the medium daisy punch. So these I like to lay flat in my, I have a CD case like tower. I got at like a yard sale for $4. And I store them on the side there so they all are nice and organized. And I always have them locked. So to unlock them, there's this little button on the back side. You just push it and then it opens up like that. To punch out, you're going to just line up the daisy, punch, and I'm looking all the way around and it looks pretty good, and I'm just going to punch. And then we'll do another one. See how lining the stamp, having it straight like this, it punches so much easier. And then this one is going to be probably not needed, but I can see that 2 of the petals are punched, or there wasn't enough cardstock, so I'm going to put that one aside. Now I'm going to punch out the ones on the white. Can you guys hear that cardinal? It's going crazy, honestly. All right, now we've got the polished pink. Again, I'm just lining it up, sliding it over, and I'm looking all the way around and then punching. And then the last one here. There we go. So we've got the whites. Now we just have the polished pink left to go. So again, this is tone on tone, so the same ink color and the same cardstock. All right, so there we go. We've got all of our daisies here. Now I'm going to be using liquid glue for this project just because it's go a lot faster. So now we're going to create all of our little daisies. I'm going to bring my silicone craft sheet in. So what I want to do is, I don't know if you can see this or not, what I did was teamed up the one that's on the basic white and the one that is on the, so we've got one that's tone on tone, and then the other one is going to be matched up with the white. So I like to have the white one on the bottom, and I'm just going to squeeze my liquid glue right there. And then I'm going to line this up so it fills in the gaps. And with liquid glue, I can turn it so it matches up really nice. So there we go. That's one. We're going to do the same thing. So I've got the white. That one's punched out perfectly. And then here's this one. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to tell you guys. So when I make my videos, you guys might think this is really funny. You know, there's a lot of people out there that edit videos. I do not edit whatsoever because honestly, I have no time to learn how to edit. And I'm sure it's like something very, very simple. But I honestly don't edit anything. So if I make a mistake, well, you guys will see me fixing my mistake. But yesterday, I decided I would listen to myself. My last week's live, okay? I've never done that because I just don't know why, but so I did, and I was like, okay, I need to know if I'm really screwing up. So last week we were not working we were not working with the Dino and Friends dies. We were working with the Hippo and Friends dies. How many of you guys caught that and didn't say anything? I said hippo or dino so many times. Dino and Friends. It's Hippo and Friends, my friends. I thought that was kind of funny. All right, so we got all those daisies. There you go. You guys can laugh. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is, I still want, let me just check this out. Oh, it's actually pretty good. I'm gonna hit it with a heat tool. So let me grab my heat tool. I have the Stampin' Up! Heat tool, so it has two selections of power. So there's a 1 and a 2. I almost always use the 2. So 2 is the hottest and the fastest airflow. So we're just gonna heat that up. And I'm just gonna go back and forth to dry the paper. So I'm gonna hit it with one side, and then I'm gonna come over and hit the heat from this side. And you can see that that paper is curling. Don't worry about it. Just flip it over and heat it from the other side, and it will flatten out. Now the color's definitely turning a little lighter shade, which is expected. All right, I think it's dry. These are actually a little wet, so let's hit those as well. Okay, that was easy enough. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add, so here's the contours die. So don't forget when you're working with dies, one has a smooth side, one is the rough side. The rough side is the wrong side. I got my silicone craft sheet for the adhesive. Now this piece here, since it's watercolor paper, you're gonna wanna use some really heavy duty adhesive. You could use multi-purpose liquid glue, but I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus just because I have it. And this is really strong adhesive. But since we've got, this is watercolor paper, you're gonna wanna put your adhesive on all four sides because as you saw, it was warping a little bit, but that's what it's going to do. So, and it's thicker than your regular like basic white. So just a little hint, make sure you use really good adhesive. Now, the only thing with this is you got to pretty much a one shot because it's not like with liquid glue where you can move it. So I'm just going to hover around and I'm kind of looking with my eyes all the way around so I can get this as close to centered as possible. It's basically a 1/16 of an inch smaller. Okay, so that's not bad. Now, what I did with this one here is let's see, did I pop it up? Yes, I popped it up. Oh, you guys, I forgot to put the little holes there. Oh, bummer. Okay, so let's see if I can fix that. Oh, I'm so disappointed. I wanted to show you guys the trio punch. I got ahead of myself. So you guys are gonna see me. I'm not editing anything. I'm fixing my mistake. Whew. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. I've got the trio punch. So the trio punch has an oval kind of shape and this little pretty kind of flower detail and a rounded corner. I'm going to put this all the way in and I'm going to punch out that. Okay, so it's going to work. Really wanted to show you guys this because I thought it was pretty cool. It's just a little bit harder to punch because I've got adhesive. But no worries, we're just going to do it. Okay, one more. Perfect. See, we can do it. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. You can see all these little pieces here. That's from the punching we did. Okay. All right. Yeah, I know, Joni, you have this punch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add a little bit more adhesive on here just because I kind of pulled it off and it kind of needs that. And I'm going to put some here, here, and here. Now I'm going to actually add some to the corners here. Now, when you use your silicone craft sheet, you can do this because it's not sticking. If I would just use this without this on this paper, well, my paper here would be a real hot mess with adhesive all over it. So I'm just going to make sure it's over the edge, so we're just going to fold that adhesive over. Okay, now we're going to try it again. Let's see if we can rectify the situation. So I'm going to get this as close as I can. So see, now you can see the white coming through. Isn't that cool? All right, that's what I thought it kind of needed. And I don't know why I thought of the trio punch, but I think it's just kind of really fancy with the contour dies that it kind of needed something to just brighten it up. So that's why I chose that. We're going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back side of this. We're going to pop it up on the polished pink. So you're going to need to have 5 of these because it is a bigger panel and you definitely want one in the middle. And we'll just peel those off. Okay. Throw those out. Now let's bring in our cardstock. This is polished pink and I've already cut it at 4 1/4 by 11, scored it at 5 1/2, A2 size card. Now, you can do whatever way you want. I kind of like the pale papaya, kind of like it's lighter shade at the top. So I'm just going to put this right over top, centering it. Okay, that looked really pretty. Then we're going to take 3 daisies. So we want 2 with the polished pink and 1 with pale papaya. The one with the pale papaya is going to get popped up with a dimensional, so you'll need a regular size dimensional. And we'll just we'll put it right on the center there. Now what you're going to do is I'm just going to place this just to get an idea of how I want the flow to go. Okay, these are going to get tucked up underneath that. So I think that's pretty good. I'm going to just move it down a little bit. I'm going to press it down. So now that one is stuck on there. This one we're going to slide underneath. So we'll just add some of this multi-purpose liquid glue, just a little bit on the back side here. Slide it underneath. And I'm just going to press it right there in the center. And then we're going to do the same thing with the one on the bottom. So you can do 2 if you want. For me, I think odd numbers are better, so that's why I've chosen 3. And we'll just press that there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our sentiment strip here. I'm going to cut it down. And I like to use our paper snips, and we're going to cut it at an angle. And then I'm going to cut this side at an angle just to give it a little bit of character. And eventually we're going to slide it in here somewhere. But this one also gets popped up, and with a 1/2 inch strip you can use the regular size dimensionals. So I'm just going to add, actually I'm going to add 3 only because I think it will buckle in the middle there, and let's give it a little bit of support. Okay, so now this one, where is it going to go? So I'm going to just probably slide it right about here. Okay. And now we need to add let's add this inside panel because we're going to put that crystal effects on last. So this one here is going to get adhered to the inside. I like this little panel just because it's very fancy compared just to your 4 by 5 1/4, which is standard inside. Okay. Now you can take 2 of these and put 2 on here if you wanted to. I think we'll do it because since I have it, here's the inside with just the 1. So I'm going to add 2 and mix them up. So let's see, we're going to pop this one up. The back side of that doesn't look too bad either. Put that right there. And then this one here, we're just going to glue straight down. And just give it a press for about 10 seconds so it does adhere. Okay. So now we've got to embellish. To embellish, I used the sequins here. They're the Artistry Blooms Adhesive Back Sequins. We use these in Card Club. One of the months, I'm not sure which one. But they're really fun to use, and I'm so happy that they got carried over. So this is kind of a hot mess only because I used these for my retreat, an add-on class, and people got like 10 of these, so I got them all cut down into kind of a mess. But I'm going to add this. This is Rich Raspberry, which works really nicely with the polished pink. And let me grab my Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to grab, this is Mango Melody. Again, it's not any of the colors in here, but it does work because it's got that little orangey yellow. I'm not sure what color this is. We're going to sneak that in here. I'm going to add 5 to this one. Let me grab another Rich Raspberry. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's grab this one here. Put one over there. Okay. Not really fun? Okay, let me just get these all out of the way here. I did not use the blue just because blue's not in there and that just really wouldn't look good. We're gonna add crystal effects next. All right, so this is crystal effects. I don't use it very much, but we're gonna use it tonight. I'm gonna shake it up and we're gonna add it to the center of the daisies. So, I don't know, I'll bring this up to the camera. This takes a good 20 minutes to dry, so that's why I probably won't be able to move it much once I get this on. And I won't be able to add the inside crystal effects until this dries on the front, and then I'll go back later tonight and add the inside. So see that? It just adds a little bit of, kind of resembles the little sequins there. Okay, and let me show you the inside. So this one is all completely dry. This one here, the inside I have not done yet. So why don't I just do that right now? Okay. So this, make sure you store these. I store them upright. All right, so that's our card, you guys. Let me just quickly show you the inside. I'll go back when the front is dried and put the crystal effects on this one. So that's card number one. I've got one more card for you guys. So I'm going to just take a look and see if there's any comments here before I move on. Let me scroll all the way back up here. A lot of you guys on tonight. 17, that's great. Jump off a bridge. I can't catch it. Have you, hey, you jump off a bridge. Okay. He's up it. Oh, Pam Colban, are you talking about the punch, the trio punch, or the medium daisy punch that you want? Oh, Carla, you've been using the pastels. I don't have those yet, but I'm intrigued by them. Awesome. Yep, Susan, I'll be sending that retreat to you, getting it done. Okay, so looks like there's no further comments, so I'm going to move on to the next, let's see. Hold on just one second. I gotta check one thing on my laptop. It's a commercial break. You guys can talk. Let's see, 38, 66. Just gotta write something down here. 38, 266. Okay. All right, let me get back here. Okay. Our next card is my failure card. I'm gonna call it my failure card because it's really not that great. But I promise you, what I make with you guys is going to be so much better. That is a hot mess. And I had an aha moment about 11 o'clock last night using a different embossing folder. So we're going to remake this card. It's based on the same kind of layout as the one here that we made. Very similar. But we're just gonna do it. I'm just gonna get everything over here and just arrange everything I need. I'm gonna be using Soft Succulent, and the stamp set is the Quiet Meadows, which I don't have on my desk, but I used it last week. We're only going to be using one stamp, and it says love. So I was trying to make an anniversary card for my husband. This is not what I'm going to give him. It's our anniversary on what, next Friday. So a week from, no, 2 weeks. on the 23rd. 33 years, you guys. Crazy how time flies. He's actually snoring next door, so I can pick on him tonight. Okay, so we are going to be taking all this stuff out. So I've been happily die cutting. Oh, here's the Quiet Meadow stamp set right next to it. This is the one we're going to be using. We used this one last week, and that Sentiment Love is what we're going to be using. So, like I said, I've been happily die cutting all the metal dies for the 3D kind of wildflowers. Let me show you. This was an optional class for my retreat. And 5 people ordered this, so they'll get the frame. They're going to get all the die cuts, not the stamped image. And they'll use a 5x7 of their designer series paper they're going to get on day 1. And 3 of those little bumblebees. See how I use them? And I did a lot of, this is all watercolored. So they're going to be getting, let me just show you because I've got it all kind of going here. So all the die cuts are all in here. And with the bumblebees, they're kind of snuck in there in a plastic bag. And here's the frame. So I still need to do the instructions and get that going, but in the supply list, but they'll get this. Hopefully it won't break in the mail for those retreat to goes. I'm gonna package it really nicely. Okay, enough of that. So guess what I did? I used the greenery embossing folder. And on the original card, I used the Tasteful Textures, and I used soft sea foam and blended it on with a sponge. And honestly, it just does not look good. Here's the inside. So we're gonna do something different. Can you guys see this? I think this is going to be a winner. So I used the stitch rectangles to cut this out, and then I used then I embossed it with the greenery. We're going to layer it on here, and then we're just going to create a bouquet. So these dies are so fun to use. I really, really have enjoyed using them, and I don't know if any of you guys have the new mini catalog. But there's so many more dies that have the wildflowers that are going to be available. Oh my gosh, there's so many. I did not buy them. I controlled myself because I just got too many other things to do. Plus, what else? I've got Christmas class I want to do, which I've got to design for my Parks and Rec in-person class. So there's just a lot to do, and plus I've got my July card club to get done before retreat. So I've got about well over 600, I would say 1,000 card kits to cut. All right, so I adhered that right onto the contours dies. So isn't that really pretty? This could be just a card like this with a sentiment, and bam, that's fine, right? But we're gonna try something different. I'm gonna stamp here. This is a really small tag that's in the die, but the word love fits on it perfectly. I did die cut too in case I make a mistake. But let's see how I stamped. Not too bad, we'll go with it. So I used the soft succulent ink, because that is the color of this contour die. I'm going to close this up because we're all done with that. So now all we need to do is make our bouquet. So I'm going to put this on the card itself because it'll be a lot easier to do now than later. So again, we'll choose to use 5 Stampin' Dimensionals. These are the regular size. Again, they come in 2 different sizes, a regular and the minis. And for July Card Club, you're going to get 1 sheet of each. as an added bonus, because basically the designer series paper is on sale, the one we're using for pansy petals. So I'm adding a little bit of extra stuff in my July card club, just because I could have, like, made $1 or $2 more, but I'm going to give that savings back to my customers that I really truly enjoy making card kits for. So I was able to give a little bit more this month. So if you're interested in card club, just email me and I can get that information to you. It does close on the 20th of July. Okay, so I've got lots of like soft colors, and that's what I was trying to go for. But I definitely want to use the evening evergreen kind of spriggy thing, just because it needed something. So I'm just gonna lay these all out. So this is soft succulent, evening evergreen, seaside spray, no, not seaside spray, soft seafoam, and pale papaya, Highland heather, and then I've got 3 little butterflies here, pale papaya, soft succulent, and cinnamon cider. And we'll use one of those, or maybe 2. So I know I definitely want to use this one. Let's see. I don't know if you guys can see this if I put this over here. Let me just see. My laptop's a little bit slower. Yeah, I think we're going to be good. So I'm going to add, just gonna put it there just to see what we're going to do. This is seaside. I said it again, soft succulent. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to go with it. This is Highland heather. Just give a nice little pop. Something different, something bold. Don't know. Oh, and this one's pool party, you guys. I love the pool party. I think I'm going to use 4. Yeah, 4. Okay, so how do I lay these out? Well, we need to make that bouquet. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my silicone craft sheet wherever that went. I have no idea. Oh, there it is. Just because you're going to want this. I think these for sure. I'm not sure about that pale papaya. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add little small dots and a little bit on the stem there. And I'm going to kind of match them up, but at an angle. Susan, these are the meadow dies. They are on, let me grab the catalog. Where's my catalog? Here it is. I showed this last week, and I wanted to bring them on again tonight. It's comes in a bundle. It's on page 110 of the annual catalog, Quiet Metal Bundle. So you get the stamp set and you get the dies, and there's 13 dies in here. And it's saved 10%, so $53. Again, that's on page 110. All right, so let's just kind of bring this in here. I think I want, I don't know, I might go back to this one. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so I'm going to add this one. And we'll match it right up there, but I'm going to put it this way. You can use a block too if you want, instead of your fingers, just to kind of press it down. And I think I might want to add 1 more or 2 more. So again, let's bring this in here so we can kind of see. Do I want this one? underneath? Or do we want the purple? Highland Heather. I want the Highland Heather. Okay, so Highland Heather is going to go on the top. Okay, so let's flip this one over. And then we're going to add this right here, kind of aiming for that space over there. Okay. So that's going to dry. But what we can do next, this little tag here, my hands have glue on them, sorry about that. So this little tag here has a hole there. And on the card example here, don't know if you could see it, I used white, which was the wrong color. I created a bow there. I'm going to use gray. So last week I showed you this Baker's Twined Essentials pack. So it comes in 5 different colors. I'm going to use the gray. I think it's gray granite. If it's not, it's definitely one of our shades of gray. I'm going to use the 10-second bow maker again because I know Pam C wants this one. And any of you guys that haven't seen this, it's really fun. So let me just, we're going to make a really small bow. So these little dowels are on the side here. This is how I make my bows. And I don't know if I got this long enough or not. So what I did was, I got a long piece here, it's probably like 8 inches, and then I'm going to bring it back together. So I've got 2. Then I'm going to bring it around the back side, right over left, and then left over top. Pinch it in the middle, and then you've got your 2 tails, and then hopefully make a knot. Perfect. And tie it really tight, and then slide it off. And there's your kind of perfect bow. If you struggle with bows, I would get a bow maker, and I love the 10-second bow maker. And it stores just like this. Perfect. And it's got these little foam things here, so it doesn't slide around. All right, so we're going to put this on last. Let's bring our card back in. So what do you guys think about the greenery embossing folder and how this looks? So that's going to look really nice. I'm just struggling. I don't know if I want it off to the side or go this way or just straight up. What do you guys think? Straight or angled? I think angled. Okay, so straight or angled? Straight. Slight left. Anybody else? Angled. Well, I'll do slightly angled. How about that? Just kind of like straightly like that. You could put this on dimensionals if you wanted to. There's enough space on the back side with some minis. But I think technically speaking, that would get stuck in your card. So we're just going to leave it flat. So this is where you're going to want to use your glue again, just little dots of glue. Just dots throughout. I might cut off the ends of this, but I'm not sure. Okay. Slightly angled. And then I'm going to grab that block. Where is it? Right here. And just going to help me adhere this down because there's way too much for my whole hand to cover in that area. So this little one here is kind of sticking up. Now if I put that on the envelope, that's going to get stuck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up and just add a little bit of glue to the back side and then just press that down and hold it for a good 5 to 10 seconds. It just needs a little bit of time. It's still humid here, so it's just taking a little bit longer to stick. And this one here, I'm going to add a little bit of glue there. Now, this tag here, I kind of was going to do it a little bit different. This I'm going to pop up. So I'm going to grab a mini dimensional. These are really small. I'm going to add 2 of them. If you don't have the minis, you can just cut off the edges of your regular dimensionals and make little tiny ones that way. Now I want to add this so it's angled. And then I want a glue dot. Glue dot would work much better than liquid glue, so I'm going to add a glue dot to the back of this bow. Press it on there so it's stuck, and then you're going to pinch it so that glue dot goes underneath the knot. And I'm going to cover up that hole. Now we'll take our snips. I'm going to cut down the edges. Now this one was doubled, so we need to cut that. And I'm going to trim it down just about 1/4 inch. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, you could put some embellishments on there, but I think adding the butterflies will look nice too. So since this is an anniversary card, we need to have 2 butterflies on here because there's 2 individuals, right? So I think I'm going to add them with a mini dimensional, but I don't know which color I want. I'm going to go with these 2. So we'll just take one of these little mini dimensionals. You want to give it some height so it kind of looks a little bit different than, and doesn't like blend in with the flowers that you die cut. So I'm going to put this one here. And then let's take this one and we'll add it to the back side there. Peel that piece off. And then we'll put this one right up here. So that looks really nice. Now the inside. The inside of this one here, all I did was I kind of had one piece left. I don't really like that. It looks like it's dying. So hopefully we can figure it out. I'm using the Contours dies. And this is basic white. Look at how that just pops. Now I've got these two pieces here. We could create another little bouquet in there. Just like that. I think that's what I'm gonna do. There's some animal outside. I just heard it. It's driving me crazy. I don't know what a sound. It was around earlier in the day, like 6 o'clock, 6:30. I kept hearing it, and I didn't know if it was like. I don't think it's a coyote. It's something different, and I just heard it again. It's dark here now, so I don't know what it is. But I know my neighbor lost some guineas, and his favorite hen to a bobcat. And I don't know what a bobcat sounds like, so I need to go to YouTube and figure that one out. Do you guys have like wildlife in your yards? We have all kinds here. Haven't seen, we've had a bear wipe out our bird feeders twice this year, but it hasn't been back. But deer for sure, ravens, bobcats. I know Alice, if you're on here tonight, I know you guys definitely have some wildlife in your yard. All right, so I'm going to put this down here so that the stem is down below. And let me grab that block just to help me adhere it down. And we'll just kind of leave that block on there just for a little bit. Just so it dries. I'm going to give it a good 20 seconds because honestly, it really wasn't sticking very much. Do you guys, any of you guys have these dies? Let's see, who has these dies? Fox, eagle, deer, many birds, skunks in an open area near a creek. Also saw a mink. Oh, I wonder what a mink sounds like. Coyotes, coyotes. Here we'll go after small pets. Yes, I know our cat's inside, so we always have to get our cat inside. But the only thing is she goes outside at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't really like that. All right, so there we go. Let's see. Yep, I think that's good. What do you guys think of this? Should I add another bow to this one? Or how about that? Little butterfly down there or up there? I don't know. Butterfly here or another bow. What do you guys think? I'll give it a second just to see how you guys. Let's see. Bow, no butterfly, no bow, just flowers. Oh boy. Well, I'll think about it. How about that? Not sure. I could do some Winkastella on it. Maybe I'll just leave it like that for now and let it dry fully, and then I'll open it up and decide what I want to do. But so let's put them side by side. Oh, I know what I did. I used the in color jewels. So do you think we need to add the in color jewels or just leave it as is? So here's the disaster. And then here's this one. I know it's really hard. I can drop the camera down. Let me try to drop the camera down so you can get a closer look side by side. Oh boy. Oh, I'm probably totally making you guys sick. I don't know. I'll give it 5 more seconds and I'm going to raise this camera back up. I probably should have used the zoom effect, but I don't know if I could do that. I'm just a beginner at all this stuff, you guys. All right. Yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it like that because adding the jewels will take away from the embossing of the greenery. That's what I think. All right, I gotta do, let me just check one more thing here to see what else, any other comments there. Just the way it is, no bow. Okay, perfect. All right, so um, again, I'm gonna, so here, let me just bring in, let's get rid of that one. And then this is, yeah, this is the one we made of the Daisy card using Daisy Lane, the medium punch. We used Pale Papaya ink, polished pink, very same layout, card to card, but very different as well. I think I'm gonna splatter some Wink Stella on this one, just because I think it just needs a little something something. So I splattered Wink Stella last week, so I'm gonna splatter again. So what I do is I just have my Wink Stella and I use my take your pick tool and I'm just gonna tap and we're gonna just splatter some of that Wink Stella all over. And since I've got it out, we're gonna just splatter over here as well. I think that's gonna just be that little something something that's gonna work. All right, so let's see, what did I want to go over one more time? My card club cards are here. So we're going to be using the pansy paper. So again, I'm using meadow dies here. So that's one card design. Two cards are going to have the meadow dies, and then two are going to be just with the pansies. And you'll get to make two of each. Okay, so, and you'll get the metallic ribbon, 5 yards of that, the essentials, clear epoxy essentials in the silver, all those die cuts. You'll have to cut the designer series paper, but that's not too difficult because I give you guys the sizes. And you'll also get, let's see, one sheet of the minis and one sheet of the regular Stampin' Dimensionals. Let's see, what else will you get? A 6x12 paper pack, and my card club is $38, and that includes shipping. And it usually takes 1 to 3 days to get to people, and I'll provide tracking numbers as well. I have 22 people in my card club currently. I am looking to get to 30 because I really want to build up that card club just because I love sharing my kits with people. And the more people that are making cards, the better off we all are. And make sure you send them too, because some people make them and they just want to keep them, right? Well, that's not good because then people aren't really like, you're not sharing your card making with people. So let's just see. I have the metal dies. I'm going to use an emboss folder on the paper before I cut them out. Oh, that's a great idea, Joni. Hey, Joni, I think you need to share that with the team, the Inspired Daisies team, and that would be awesome so we could kind of see that. Yes, they do look a little flat, and I think adding texture would be nice. It would be another pass through the die cutting machine. And quite honestly, I die cut so much that this is enough for me, but I can't wait to see what you make. So I'm challenging you, Joni, to make something that, like, yeah, I can't wait to see what you said it, now you're gonna have to do it, right? I'm challenging you. Oh crap, I did it again, you betcha. All right, Joni, great idea. I think it's a great idea too. But like I cannot do that. Like one card in Card Club, I had 452 die cuts 1 month in Card Club. That's a lot of die cutting by one person. I don't have a helper. Like it's me, and I work full time. So I come home and I get to craft and spend some time with my husband. But Anyway, I will not be in my craft room tomorrow. I am going to be, let's see, heading out the door at 6:15 to go have breakfast with some of my former boss and former coworkers. That's really, we like to get together once in a while. Since I moved away from them, I go up there and we're having breakfast at in Jeffersonville at 158 Main. It's like our favorite place to go have breakfast. And then from there, I'm going to meet my son who lives about half an hour, or not even a half an hour, maybe 20 minutes from there. And we're going to go hike. And then after that, I'm going to go to see my mom and dad. Haven't seen them in like 3-4 weeks, so I'm paying them a visit. And then I'm gonna go see my sister-in-law and deliver some cards to her. She wants to buy my all occasion cards, so I'm gonna do that. Then go to Costco, and then from Costco, you guys, I don't know what time I'm gonna be home. I'm going to go to REI to have them look at my backpacking pack, because you guys, if you follow me personally or once in a while, I will show that I hike. So I'm learning how to backpack in 32 pounds in my bag the other night, and it feels like I can handle it, but it's hit, like the bag's hitting my neck, and I don't like that feeling. So I gotta see what I have wrong or adjustment, because I really don't know how to use the bag all that well. I'm, like I said, I'm a beginner, but my friend and I are going to hopefully hike the long trail next year, through hike it. So it's 273 miles long. So, and then lastly, hey, you guys, I am like, I think I checked today. So the incentive trip, I am approximately 1,800 points. Last week, I was 2854.90 points away from earning the incentive trip, which is the Western Caribbean cruise in May of 2022. Now I'm like 1,800 and change. So I'm so appreciative of all my customers, and not just my customers, my team members. They have been doing awesome as well, and with them doing awesome as their leader, I do get a little bit of a bonus, and those points go towards the incentive trip too. But I do really appreciate you guys following me. You don't have to spend your Friday night with me, but you choose to, and I really do appreciate that. So I'm gonna sign off and clean up my desk, because I'm going to finish out the add-on class for my retreat, which is in just a couple weeks. So I'm looking forward to stamping with some people I haven't stamped with in like probably 2 years. So I'm gonna sign out for now, and you guys have a great night. I've rambled on enough. You guys go enjoy your evening and take care, and have a wonderful weekend, because I know I will. Bye-bye.